This is the 2024 Toyota Supra. It doesn't really need an introduction. You know what it is. It's a great car. I love these things. Rear-wheel drive, inline six, BMW inline six, turbo, manual transmission. What's not to love? They haven't really made any changes to the styling since it debuted a few years ago. I think it still looks good. I like the sort of sculpted bonnet here and the elements that are brought through from past generations, such as the tail lights at the back, that whole ducktail wing. Yeah, it was always going to be a hard task coming up with a modern version of a classic, but I think they've done really well. It looks distinctive, it looks like a Toyota, it doesn't look like a BMW, even though it is based on BMW's CLAR platform, like the BMW Z4 and a lot of other rear-wheel drive based BMW models. But Toyota has given it its own sort of GR flavour. Sorry about the dirty state of the vehicle. We've had a lot of rain lately, so I've been trying to find a dry window. But you've got side skirts, nice rear diffuser, finned rear diffuser, and then a pretty aggressive front end with these little side winglets as well, or the semi-side winglets. I don't like all the fake vents around, so there's one there, and then one on the bonnet here. They're all fake, they don't actually go through to anything. Same with along here. That'd be nice if that was a big intake, but it probably wouldn't do anything. Like, where's it going to feed the rear brakes perhaps? I've never been a fan of the fake vents on any vehicle actually, but the designers want them there. But then sort of the efficiency team get involved and then they say, no, that's not efficient, it doesn't help anything. So yeah, you get what they're trying to do, but at the end of the day, they don't need to be there. I love the detailed headlights. You've actually got 6 blocks or ice blocks in there almost, and a very pointed front end. Under the bonnet, we've got the 3-litre BMW B58 turbo, single turbo, inline six. So this features what BMW calls twin power technology. So it's basically twin vane on a single turbocharger, 500 Newton meters. We'll go for a drive in a minute. I'll show you what that's like. It's plenty of power. It really is. It goes really, really well. It doesn't do 0 to 100 as quick as the automatic version or as easy as the automatic version. So I've already done the performance testing on this. I tried as hard as I could, but I couldn't beat my previous time on performance drive, only just because it is a bit slipperier today. But yeah, I really don't think you'll be upset by the performance or power of this thing. And up at the back, you do have a boot. Yep. There's not too much space in there. It's actually not too bad. I'll open it and show you. It goes all the way forward, pretty much into the cabin. You've got sort of Fast and Furious style subwoofer speakers or large speakers there. But yeah, the space isn't too bad. You probably can't tell on camera, but it drops down. It's pretty deep. And then you've got little side pockets on both sides as well. Little netted storage areas. You can definitely use this as a Grand Tourer style of vehicle. Even a weekend getaway car, you can, chuck a couple of luggage bags in there, no problem. And then inside, it's quite BMW-esque, I guess. Mainly the iDrive controller on the console, and then the touchscreen is pretty much all BMW. Toyota has infused some of its sort of menus and things, but not that much. It's actually a lot BMW. This instrument cluster is pretty much all Toyota. I haven't seen anything in there that's BMW, apart from the font for the trip information there, but these little bars for the fuel tank and everything, that's all sort of Toyota. Then down below, that's pretty much BMW there, the headlight control switch. And the steering wheel is also BMW, but it's got this sort of oval, off-shaped cap, the Toyota cap there, which makes it look a little bit off-putting in my opinion. But yeah, this steering wheel, all of these buttons and everything, that's from BMW a few years ago now, maybe 5 or 6 years. So it's kind of an older style of BMW steering wheel. You do have some storage, got a wireless charger and a couple of cup holders and a little trough at the back there, but that's about it. The door pockets are really only good enough for maybe a thin wallet or something like that. Once you're inside, yeah, it's pretty tight. I guess if you're tall, you definitely start to get close to that ceiling. I'm not even very tall, 170 centimeters, and yeah, I'd hit my head going out if I wasn't careful. It kind of swoops right down at the back, so you've got to be careful getting in and out. And once you're in, yeah, you can tell this is a sports car. This is not, you know, a practical sedan. You've got a nice sound just sitting here. But there is some artificial sound coming through the speakers as you're driving along, which I'll show you out on the road. All of this is pretty much BMW, these menus. I've just noticed that some of the menus are slightly different. I think vehicle settings just looks a little bit different in some of the equivalent BMW models. But again, this is an older system, so this is older BMW stuff. We've got sport displays, where were they? Live outputs and so on. And then you've got, yeah, I like this hand controller systems because you can just jump to various menus while you're driving and not have to worry about, you know, fiddling around with the touchscreen. It is a touchscreen though, so you can, you know, use the screen as well. And then these buttons down here, a lot of people might not know this, but you can program these to do anything. So they jump to anything that you want. You can actually make it jump to the vehicle settings page, for example, or the sport display. Just hold down the button and that becomes sport display. You can even program it to call your mum, for example. So I think that's quite practical. And then you've got a separate climate control panel down here. The only thing I don't like is that it's got the older style BMW recirculation switch there. I think that means automatic and manual, whereas modern BMWs just have, you know, button on or off recirculation. And it also has no sync button here. You've got to go into the climate control settings to sync the left and right. All right, we'll go for a drive now and give you a bit of an idea of what it's like, and then we'll do the performance testing and see what it goes like. How good is it to be driving a manual once again? This gear shifter is a little bit notchy, but I think it's because this car's only got 331 kilometers on the clock, so it's still running in basically. But yeah, some of the gears I've noticed, especially when it's cold, is just a little bit notchy, even just going from first to second. But it's definitely a good mechanical feel. It doesn't feel like a plasticky gearbox or anything like that with, you know, dodgy connections. It feels very solid, like you are making an actual change to the powertrain in some way. It does have automatic rev matching. You can turn it off. It's pretty subtle. It's not too aggressive. And it does change with the speed as well. So keep the engine revs up. I'll go back to second and it revs it nicely, whereas if you're just going from say fourth to third, it'll just give it a gentle blip. Awesome soundtrack. This engine does sound beautiful. There is a bit of fake noise coming through to the cabin, I can hear, which is a little bit of a shame because it's a straight six, turbo straight six. It shouldn't need any enhancement, and it doesn't. It actually sounds really nice. It doesn't matter if it's a bit quiet, the sound is nice, and you can always fit an aftermarket exhaust or something like that if you really want to. But yeah, strong performance. Even from low revs. It's got 500 Newton meters of torque, which is, you know, that's V8 territory not that long ago. So in this little sporty coupe, yeah, it's plenty of torque. Good traction as well. I've got everything turned off. The stability and traction is all turned off, but you've got awesome grip nonetheless. If you do want to slide it around, that's definitely possible. They made some changes to the suspension and steering in recent years, or the last couple of years. So the rear end isn't quite as twitchy as it used to be, and the steering is just a bit nicer as well. So it's a bit easier actually if you wanted to drift and so on. Feel when it's going to let go as well. It doesn't just snap suddenly, but with that instant torque, have to be careful somewhat because, yeah, you don't need to move the throttle much, and then it starts to unleash all of that torque suddenly to the rear tyres. But yeah, awesome performance. It's a great driver's car. I think with the manual, it just makes it a lot more engaging, a lot more exciting as well. It'll be interesting to see if Toyota does do this rumoured GRMN version. There has been prototypes and things spotted around the Nürburgring, providing some hints to an upper spec or upper performance model being in the works. But I think for now, this is a good all-rounder. You know, anybody could drive this pretty quickly and have a lot of fun, and it's definitely very quick.